As we just told you, we're wrapping up our Seeking a Confession series tonight with one more piece of the DNA puzzle.
That's right. Here is investigative reporter Steve Brown with the conclusion of Seeking a Confession.
Jim Graham wants to be clear.
I'm not looking for money, just want them to be transparent.
He also wants a confession from Catholic authorities that he is the son of a priest. Now, Graham has the documents, the old photos, and a few artifacts, but will never know Father Thomas Sullivan beyond these unearthed treasures.
That I'll never have. But by the same token, I'm not going to dwell on it.
Instead, he tweets, makes calls, writes letters in pursuit of recognition. Graham has also picked up some allies, like Olin Horn.
I was here in the house by myself. I read his story, and I actually put my hand on my chest. I mean, it emotionally took a breath away from me.
When Horn read the Globe expose on children of priests last August, he got in touch with Jim Graham, offering to help. Horn, as a boy, was abused sexually by a Boston area priest and later became an advocate for other victims and gets regular access to Boston Cardinal Sean O'Malley. Horn set his sights on a meeting with O'Malley to plead Jim Graham's case.
Once the truth is told, the story begins to blossom. The truth is I don't need anybody to convince me that they haven't done the right thing. And I'm not here to convince you that the Oblates are good or bad. I'm here to get Jim an answer to his question.
If you get the sense that Olin Horn is not a guy who accepts no for an answer, well, we got the same impression. And he did get that meeting with Cardinal O'Malley. It was here at the Pastoral Center for the Boston Diocese. It was on a Friday in December, 2 days before Christmas.
O'Malley in that meeting agreed to call Father Louis Studer, the leader of the Oblate Order in the U.S. headquartered in Washington. Two on your side also put a call into Father Studer for comment. This is what a priest at the Oblate's national headquarters told us by voicemail.
Father Studer is not interested in making a statement. I can tell you that over the years, we have reviewed our records both here in Rome, and there is simply no mention of any offspring of Father Sullivan. We have spoken with Mr. Graham. We simply have no information that would either confirm or deny what he's concluded. There's nothing we can say other than the information that he's put together suggests he knows more about this than we do.
In a couple recent phone calls, Father Studer himself told Jim Graham essentially the same thing. There are no records to back up his story. Graham has not heard from Father Studer since.
You know, I thought at one time, I could ask to have my father's remains brought up into a DNA test, but I thought that would be just kind of grandstanding.
But since that November interview, Graham has changed his mind. He's contacted a Boston attorney and is considering what could be a legal battle to exhume the late priest's remains to obtain a DNA sample to see if science will confirm what Graham says he knows in his heart, that the late priest is his father.
You're 72.
Right.
Do you think you're going to get what you're looking for?
Are you asking me if I'm running out of time?
We're all travelers on this planet, right? Nobody's here forever.
Sure.
Tomorrow's never promised. You've been in pursuit of this information for 24 years, in pursuit of an apology for 24 years.
That's right.
Haven't gotten it yet.
No. And I don't know if I'm getting closer, but I'm not going to stop. Obviously, thousands of stories like this, but I think it's time that, the church says, yes, we did these kind of things, and hopefully they'll do less of them.
And tonight we find ourselves in the same place as Jim Graham, waiting on an answer from the Oblate Order. We left voicemails with Father Studer asking if he would consider an exhumation of Father Sullivan's remains to obtain a DNA sample. No answer yet. We will update the story when we hear. To review all 6 parts of this series, you can visit WGRZ.com. The link for Seeking a Confession is at the very top of the page. Reporting in studio tonight, Steve Brown, Channel 2 News. Scott and Mary Alice, Back to you.
What a fascinating position he finds himself in right now. I understand how it might be a very sensitive thing with the Sullivan's family, but yet it would be a Christian thing to do also.
And you can't help but feel for Jim Graham. I mean, really needing an answer one way or another. But Steve, I'm hoping you'll keep us updated on his effort to get that exhumation.
And the legal battle that could develop out of that could be very embarrassing for the Catholic Church. So they have to weigh whether or not they want to go through with that, or perhaps concede to the request and have that DNA sample drawn.
We will look forward to this.
Yeah, could open a whole other can of worms.
You
so
bet.
It's a really interesting case. Fascinating series, Steve. Really enlightening and compelling. Thank you.